Okay. So, in my opinion, and I don't think this is like an unreasonable position to hold, there is nothing overtly inappropriate or sexual about drag queens being transgender and or being trans or being LGBT. What do you think of Jason Unruh? He's called me out before. He's a very cringe piece of shit. I don't like him. He's a tanky, like open tanky, Cindy. I hope you're not like watching him. Jesus. But like I said, I don't think there's anything sexual or inappropriate about this at all. There's nothing wrong with teaching kids about gender. There's nothing overtly inappropriate or sexual about it. Having drag queens dress up in cool costumes and read stories or teach kids is not an issue. There's literally nothing wrong with this. But we got a video from someone who disagrees with that assertion. Their name is Cringe Panda. I heard rumors this person is like a child. I'm not sure if it's true, but if it is, then yikes. But here we go. Lego.
And I'm queer identified.
What's up, internet?
Oh my god, she's an actual child. Am I really about to do a video bullying a child? Is that what I'm about to do? Am I actually about to do a video bullying a child? You're goddamn right I will. This kid has 83.7 thousand subscribers and she's made 7 videos. It's Soph too, unironically. No, I'm like, this is unironically. This is Soph too. How long?
Here's a new YouTuber that's gonna get canceled.
Oh god, she's a Nazi too. No, she is gonna be Soph too. This girl is a Nazi. In her like Return of Cringe Panda video, we have Gavin McInnes with censored TV. Oh no.
Canceled. She's like Soph. Her name is Cringe Panda.
Even he's saying she's like Soph. Oh my god, is this what? Oh god, is this what the pedophile Nazis are gonna do now? They've seen the success of Soph and they're gonna push a wave of like 11-year-old Nazi children. Apparently Mark Dice shouted her out, of course. Oh my god.
You should check her out, okay?
Oh no. Oh god. Oh no. Hopefully she gets banned off YouTube soon. Alright, SophTube, chat! Who's excited? Listen, guys, I said like, what was it, like 6 months ago? Like almost a year ago, that I was never going to talk about Soph again. She's been kicked off of YouTube. She's got no more presence online anymore that's worth covering. No fucking point in covering it. There's just literally no point. Why would I? So I said I would never cover Soph again, but it looks like another child has taken her place for me to bully. No idea how old she is. She looks like she's maybe 12 or 13 years old. Doesn't matter. I'm still gonna bully her. Buckle your seatbelts, buckaroos. We're going on.
In anticipation of the big upcoming Copa purge that's bound to destroy whatever character YouTube still has left, in order to turn it into a full-time advertising and Marxist indoctrination experience.
Oh my god, she's an actual Nazi. Okay. Oh wait, I did just realize having a kid in my video means I'm gonna have to tick that there's a kid in my video with the Kappa thing when I edit this video, and I'm gonna. Oh no, I'm gonna have to. I'm not gonna get this video is not gonna be monetized. Ah shit, my Soros bucks. Yeah, this is she's unironically a Nazi. Like I'm not even kidding. Like nobody says that like turning it into a Marxist indoctrination campaign. That's the cultural Marxist meme. This is JQ shit. She is 100% a JQer. No, I actually need to know for sure. Hold on. Attention, I appreciate the reaction videos to my first video, but other ones that YouTube... Okay, here's her BitChute. Let's see what she's doing on BitChute. David Icke talks to Cringe Panda about transgender children phenomena. Gay agenda wants your kids. Teen reacts to transgender popularity. Let's see. How important is cultural diversity in your schools? So yeah, she's probably anti-immigration. Transgender epidemic. Okay, yeah, so she's a Nazi. Nice. All right. Let's see if we get any JQ references in videos. Who's ready? She's already said that it's like a Marxist campaign or some shit. So who's ready for... Okay. Can we do a poll? City, I want you to run a poll. What are the chances that we get some JQ references in this video? I'm very curious what you guys think.
Thought I'd go all out with a bang. Are you ready?
I'm actually really worried that this kid is being manipulated by like an older relative, maybe parents, maybe a brother, like Soph was, or was speculated to. Because I don't feel like someone this young can be a Nazi unless they're raised into it, right? Like, I get it. You like the alt-right rabbit hole is real. I like no doubt about it. Young people can be radicalized to reactionary ideology, but I feel like to be this young and to be a Nazi, you have to have been raised this way, or be like, I don't feel like she knows what she's talking about. She feels robotic. She feels like she's reading a teleprompter or some shit. Oh fuck, she's in my YouTube chat. Cringe Panda, I would love to have you on my stream. Would you love to debate? She's actually in YouTube chat, guys. Oh fuck. All right, what's your Discord? Join my Discord and join Oh fuck, I'm excited. Hey Vermin, I see you in chat. All right, we're getting her on. All right, join my my Discord. There's a link in the description, Cringe Panda, and you can just join the it's like Q chat. It's a VC, and you can just join it, and I'll pull you in, and we can have a fucking debate arena. Oh fuck, chat. Hypers, who's ready? Oh shit. My Bluebird, thank you for the tier 1's the $5. Says she's in YouTube chat. She wants you to acknowledge her. I did acknowledge. Don't destroy minors. It looks weird. Fuck off. All right, thank you, Hyena. All right, let's see. Is she joining? I hate it. I hate it when I'm covering somebody's video and then they come into chat and they want it, and like we end up debating, because then I can't like. Because I could make that into 2 different videos, right? I could do a debate video and I could do a covering their video, but I guess this is good. This is content. Yeah, Cringe Panda, if you want to come on and debate, just go ahead and join Q chat, and I'll pull you into the debate me room. Her mom said no? Uh-oh. Cringe Panda. But really do a different video? That one is done into death? I'm okay. What's going on? Did her mom say no? Is that what's happening? Are people being ironic there, or I don't know. She hasn't joined the Discord, doesn't look like. Unless her name is any of these things, which I don't think they are. No, she actually said her mom said no? Ah, damn. Can I debate your mom? Wait, Cringe Panda, would your mom want to debate? Well, you know I'm a kid. Well, I mean, yeah. Doesn't matter. You have an audience, you have a platform, you're spreading what I think is harmful rhetoric, and so I'm gonna argue against it. Doesn't matter what your age is if you're a public figure. Does your mom want to debate? I feel like she might hold please cover the trans popularity video. Alright, hey. I've never had somebody that I've covered come into my chat and ask me to cover a specific video. So you know what? Do it. We'll fucking do it. How important? Here, let's see. Where is it? The return of Cringe Panda. How important? Oh. Let's see. What do we got? Wait, I don't see it here. Did it get taken off of YouTube? If it's on BitChute, I'm not going to cover it because I don't want to give it attention. And if it's on BitChute, it's probably TOS. I'm not trying to get in trouble. Hey, Micklesad, thanks for the $5, buddy. Says, if you debate her, the parents can't write the script fast. Thanks for the $5, Micklesad. I don't know, Cringe Panda. I think it's important because people keep saying I'm hateful. I don't know, Cringe Panda. I mean, it seems like you are. A little bit. It's on BitChute. I can't show a BitChute video on stream. It might be TOS. I'm sorry. We'll continue this video, okay? Alright, listen.
Are you ready?
Hold on. Cringe Panda in YouTube chat. Tell you what, I'll bring you up on screen right here. Do you promise me you don't hate trans people? Do you think... I have a genuine question for you here. Do you think trans people are valid as their gender identity that they identify with? I'm very curious. Thanks for $1, David767. Because I'm very curious. I'd like to know before we continue with this video. I don't hate trans people. Alright, so hating trans people is one thing, but do you think they are valid as the gender identity that they identify with? Like trans women. Are trans women women, in your opinion? Mudboy's covering you again right now? Huh, damn. I think they are valid as people. I don't think they are of an opposite gender. Okay, that's about what I expected. Alright, so no, you do not see trans people valid as their gender identity. That is the answer to that question. Okay, cool. So you are transphobic, I'm afraid. That is the definition of transphobia. Let us continue. Hopefully you enjoy- listen. Chat. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna try to my best to, take this video in good faith and argue against the arguments being made here. Alright? We're gonna do it, alright? Here we go. That face when Xander Hall reacts to Rose of Dawn video I already reacted to. Wait, Lumi, are you Lumiru? In chat right now? Wait, no, Lumi is L-U-M-I, so no, you're not Lumiru. They're a minor, it's not too late? Maybe. We'll see. Let's continue.
Suit up, bears. Now I know most of you are here because of my previous 2 videos, which garnered over 1 million views each, and I can't believe the powers that be didn't pull them down yet. But the...
Okay. So, Cringe Panda, do you... Wait, did someone just ban her? Okay, nobody banned her. Nobody, if there are any mods in YouTube chat, do not ban Cringe Panda. I have a question. Do you believe, perhaps, that there is a certain group of people that happen to hold a lot of positions of power in the government and in the media that may be pushing a certain agenda? I'm just curious what your thoughts are on that, potentially. Potentially. Just curious. And I don't mean the gays. No, I don't think it's happening from... I think it's happening from groupthink. Okay. Alright. Maybe not a JQer, we'll see. Whew, here we go. So the reason why you see all these corporations turning their logos into rainbow flags for gay representation during Pride Month and whatnot isn't because they have some pro-gay agenda. Corporations do not have agendas beyond making money. That's what they want. They want to make money. That's what corporations are for. They are pandering to the LGBT community in order to expand their audience. If it wasn't somewhat socially acceptable to do this, they wouldn't do it. Corporations aren't going to push the envelope on trans acceptance if it's going to harm their bottom line. The only reason why you see all of this is because they can make money from it. They don't have like a pro-LGBT agenda or anything like that. Get woke, go broke. Cringe Panda, I hear that phrase a lot. It's just not true. Marketing to gay people, marketing to people who accept gay people, is going to massively increase your bottom line. Corporations aren't going to go woke if it's going to make them go broke. They're smarter than that. They have entire teams of people that work on marketing. If it was hurting their bottom line, they aren't going to do it. All they care about is money. I don't feel like this is a controversial take. Wrong.
Subject of today's video isn't really that different. Yep, we're going to cringe at that favorite obsession of NPCs everywhere, which is pushing diversity.
Oh shit, am I in this? Let's see, where am I? Come on, I better be in this one. Fuck, I'm not here. We got Anita Sarkeesian, we got, I don't know who the rest of these people are. Damn, I'm actually hurt, Cringe Panda. I'm not in this one. It's not because... Wait, hold on. It's not because most people don't agree with wokeness. Cringe Panda, what do you... Well, hold on, I'm curious. By the way, that is the worst video. I mean, I can't show any of your BitChute ones, though, because if they've been taken off of YouTube, I'll get taken off of YouTube if I show it. Because through me, I am platforming that video. YouTube will literally punish me for it. Okay. So... It's not because most people don't agree with wokeness. What do you mean by wokeness? If you mean just being pro-LGBT, I think most people probably agree with it. Gay marriage has been legal in America for a few years now. I'm pretty sure statistically, even the majority of Christians, which are like the demographic most likely to be homophobic, are pro-gay marriage. Like, if that's what you mean by wokeness, I don't think that's the case. I mean that it's not profitable to be woke. It's not profitable to be woke? Why do they do it then? Like, these corporations aren't just like some YouTuber sitting at a desk deciding whether or not to change their logo to a certain thing each month. It is profitable. It's why they're doing it. These companies have massive fucking marketing teams of people that decide whether or not they want to do a certain thing with their marketing. Like, this isn't done off of a whim. They look at stats, they look at their sales, they look at their bottom line. They have like whole fucking groups of people that decide what their marketing is going to be. This isn't done on a whim. Corporations take how much money they're going to make in their advertising very seriously because it's a massive investment for them. They aren't just gonna like do these things on a whim. Give her examples? Oh yeah, sure, okay. So for example, so like the first one that comes to my mind right now is Chick-fil-A and the anti-gay shit. So basically, I'm ignoring everyone in chat, Zand. Wait, hold on. Chat's moving too quick. Oh, I can't. Oh yeah, that's fine, Cringe Panda. Don't worry about people in chat. Just focus on me, alright? If we can't have a one-to-one debate, we'll do it here. So Chick-fil-A underwent a lot of controversy for quite a while around the concept of because they were supporting anti-gay institutions. We'll put it that way. A lot of controversy, and recently Chick-fil-A decided that they were no longer going to support those we're not going to support those institutions anymore, and they saw it as being more profitable. They wouldn't have done that if they didn't see it as being profitable. Chick-fil-A, I saw that just now. Oh, chat's moving too quick. Chick-fil-A, I saw just now that they are donating to SPLC. Sure, yeah, Southern Poverty Law Center is usually seen as like a positive organization by most Americans. I have my issues with it, but I mean, I think it's probably... Oh yeah, here's another example. Do you remember the Nike thing? With like Colin Kaepernick whenever he was like kneeling during the national anthem. This is like a couple years old, this drama, but basically Colin Kaepernick, he had been like kneeling during the national anthem to protest police violence against black people in America, and a bunch of people that had an issue with this, you know, right-wingers and whatnot, boycotted Nike. But and they ended up like uploading a lot of videos to YouTube with them like burning their Nike products and things like that. But they ended up earning $6 billion from this. They gained from it. When these corporations go woke, they don't go broke. They fucking skyrocket because you have reactionaries on one end making a huge deal about it and giving them additional media coverage, and on the other end, you have woke people who want to go out of their way to support these organizations and these corporations because they think they're in favor of the values that they agree with. There's a JQer in website chat? Ban him. Or fucking shut him or something. Send him to Purgatory. Alright, let's continue. We'll continue the video.
More
It was actually something I wanted to cover? Wait, what? Okay, we'll continue.
specifically, pushing diversity in schools worldwide. In our school, every lesson is somehow linked to diversity.
It used to be the odd lesson where we talked about diversity, but now it never stops.
Even more
So is that a bad thing? Because generally when you're in school, you're taught positive messages, right? Like kids' books, like what they're showing on the screen here. Yeah, you guys remember? Do you guys remember the Hungry Hungry Caterpillar? I want to see a hypers in chat if you remember this fucking classic. Only the real boomers in chat remember this one. The Hungry Hungry Caterpillar. This book was about change and transformation, and as well as other things as well. But it was a good-ass fucking book. It was a children's book that pushed an agenda in a way to teach children about change and progression. That's what it was all about. It was about transformation, transition, one might. And this book is like, what, like 40 years old at this point? How old is this book? 1969 this book was published. Generations of kids learned about transformation and change through this children's book, okay? So, this isn't a new thing, alright? Positive ideas and lessons have been taught to kids in school, especially when they're very young, for literal decades. I show up on one stream and you're talking about Hungry Hungry Caterpillar. Anna?
Every lesson
I love you.
is
Okay.
somehow linked to
Fine.
diversity.
It used to be the odd lesson where we talked about diversity, but now it never stops.
That was a long time ago? Yeah, like I said though, if diversity is a good thing, which I think it is, we can argue on whether or not diversity is good. I mean, it depends what argument we want to go from. We can have like the culture debate, we can have the economics debate. I mean, immigration and diversity is literally every major economist agrees that diversity and immigration helps the economy, helps jobs, helps wages in the long run. If you want to have the culture debate, I mean, we can talk about how much foreign cultures affect American culture, and probably for the better. I mean, like, I don't know where you'd want to go through from it, but I'm going to assume that you think that diversity is bad. I don't know what your take is there, but I don't know.
Even more specifically, this type of diversity.
Hello, Ellie Barnes here from Educate and Celebrate, how to make your schools LGBT friendly. I am really proud to be...
Alright, we're speeding this video up a little bit, okay? Listen, no hard feelings. I did it with the last video. Sometimes I like speeding videos up. I've got a brain that works at 1,000,000 miles a second, and I need to... I can take in information real fucking fast.
a lesbian.
Just so you know, I have
Diversity is hard to deal with IRL, at least in my experience. What do you mean by that, though? That's the issue, right? So if by diversity you just mean there's like you got black people, you got Asian people, you got gay people, you got straight people, you got cis people, you got trans people, you got tall people, you got short people, you got skinny people, you got fat people. I don't really see if there's like an issue there. I mean, I would point out, I'm not going to impugn you for your age. That is not something I want to do here. But I do have to point out that you are quite young. And so your experience is probably quite limited. Not looking down on you for that. But in terms of objective lengths of time, your experience is probably quite limited.
no problem with LGBT people. And in my line of work, you run into all sorts of people. But that isn't what I'm cringing at here. Rather, this is about what progressives worldwide are bombarding school children with.
We totally encourage intersectional ways of teaching, lots of pedagogies around usualising, so making LGBT+ an everyday occurrence within the school.
But we're still learning important things such as math, financial planning, etc., right?
And really the bottom line is to completely smash heteronormativity. That's what we want to do.
Why?
Do you think that they don't teach? I feel like I'm 100 years old some days. I know that feeling, trust me. Okay. I would like to point out that there's no evidence there that they don't teach math and science and reading and all that other stuff. I mean, like, if you are in a nationally run school, a school run by the government, there's usually like a common curriculum that has to be maintained. You have certain tests you have to take, you have certain standards you have to meet for the state. So I assume they're still learning math and science and reading and all that stuff. But on top of that, they're like, hey, gay people are okay. Yeah, you know, that's fine. Nothing wrong with gay people. It's all good. You know, here's learn a little bit about gender and sex as well. And by sex, it means like your identity, not your identity, but your sexual identity. You know, male or female.
But wait, even though there's virtue signaling in every inch of the school, what else could they possibly do?
Is no bullshit a Nazi or a fascist? Well, I mean, he's talked about the Jewish question before. Okay, schools are not bombarding kids with gay rep, Xander Hall. It takes so much effort to get curriculum like that in. It is very rare. That is true, Vermin. I should clarify that these clips they're showing is like, this is not... Like, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. This is not common. Okay? I promise you that, like... Hold on, I'll move my camera because it's kind of covering it up. Listen, guys. I promise you that, like, teachers with, like, the hair and the LGBT button teaching about pro-LGBT stuff, this is not common. I live in a real leftist city. What do you mean by leftist? I feel like a lot of people that are right-leaning have a pretty skewed idea of what leftism is. Like, for example, an American Democrat is not leftist. Like, if you think Obama was a leftist, for example, your idea of what leftism is might be a bit wrong. Even, like, in progressive spaces... That's fine, Cringe Panda. If people... Hey, chat! Hey, listen to me. None of you harass Cringe Panda. I don't want you going out of your way to message them on other social media sites. I don't want you harassing them in the chat. I don't want you calling them any names. Nobody fucking harass them, okay? If I see you harassing them, you get banned. No tolerance, alright? Alright, let's continue with the video.
That's what we want to do.
Why? But wait, even though there's virtue signal...
You know, I'm not kidding. This isn't like a Pepe smile meme. Like, actually, if I see you doing that, you're banned. Yeah, by most standards, if we look at the Overton window, most American Democrats are center to right-leaning in America.
In every inch of the school. What else could they possibly do to jam even more progressivism into plastic young brains?
Hi, I'm facelift. I use the pronouns she and her, and I'm queer identified.
Holy guacamole! In what planet would this gentleman warrant she and her pronouns? The guy's name is Facelift.
Alright. Cringe Panda. We're gonna have a heart-to-heart here for a moment. Alright. Fuck, I feel like... yeah, liberal and leftist are not the same thing, Cringe Panda. Liberals are in favor of capitalism, corporatism, private ownership of the means of production, and all of that. Leftists are against capitalism, are in favor of liberating the means of production and giving it to the working class, or just the working class seizing it, in general, and being against corporatism and usually authoritarianism. They're like a fucking tanky or something. Very big difference between liberal and left. But I feel like I kind of need to, I feel like I have a responsibility here to give a responsible explanation of what it is to be trans, in this discussion. And I feel like, while doing so, but I should also bring up the research document very graciously produced by Vosh. So, this is a real cool stream? I'm glad you think so, Cringe Panda. I hope we can find some common ground here. So, me and a lot of people in our position, in this community, do our best to go out of our way to substantiate everything that we say, every claim that we make, with research and data to back it up. Because if I say right now that, let's say right now, I just look into the camera and say, the entire medical community thinks that transgender people are valid, and that it is the consensus. If that was wrong, you could go out of your way and do the research and debunk it if that was not the case. However, I have data to back this up. So, I guess we'll read through some of this, some of these sources and the claims that they make, and you can do with that what you will, and decide whether or not you agree with this. So, this is an incomplete list of reputable scientific and social organizations which affirm the validity of transgender people, that transness is not a mental illness, that trans people are deserving of respect and equal rights. This also serves as a list of the institutions which recognize the difference between sex, biological sex, male or female, and gender. The American Psychological Association, the American Medical Association, the American Psychoanalytic Association, the Human Rights Campaign, the American Academy of Pediatrics, the American College of Osteopathic Pediatricians, the United Nations, and the United Kingdom's National Health Service. And then on top of that, we have a big list of studies to back all of these claims up. Now, Cringe Panda, if you are actually interested in reading some of these sources, it's just an open, like, public doc that you can go to. I'll go ahead and drop a link in the chat. Also, if you're interested in, like, talking in the good chat, by the way, Cringe Panda, you're probably going to, like, get a lot of shit in YouTube chat, because that's where all the degenerates hang out. But if you want to come to the good chat, which is my website chat, you can come to xanderhall.com/live, make an account, and you can talk in this chat. It's way better. We've got emotes and everything. It's actually pretty good. Oh, thank you for adding that. Wait, I'm not a mod? Wait, you should be a mod, Hyena. Herman? I'll change that really quick. Hold on. Yeah, my website chat will be nice to you because I'll fucking wipe them off the face of the earth with a click of a button. If they're on my website. Here, actually, I don't want to show it on screen because I don't feel like showing... Fuck. I don't feel like showing Vermin's IP. That would be a bad idea. Here, I'll go ahead and give you mod, Hyena. Should already have it. I feel like maybe I gave your Hyena account mod. No, you have admin, notable, moderator, and trusted. You have them. Should be able to do it. No, Hyena, you know what it is? I banned Pitbot. People kept on getting banned for spamming in my chat, and I banned the Pitbot. So that's why it's not working. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, we'll have to figure out something there. It was just too ban happy or mute happy, and I kept having to like I literally kept having to like manually go in and unban and unmute people. I had to ban the bot. So yeah, that's why it's not working. No, I think it's that. Would you debate Vosh? What do I debate him on? We agree on basically everything. Like, by coincidence, too. Like, I'll just have, like, a good take, and he'll be like, oh, I like that take. And then he'll have a good take, and I'll be like, oh, I agree with that take. I can't think of anything I've like, had a big disagreement with him on the surface level, but we'll continue with the video. Alright, we continue.
It's like a name for a villain in a Batman TV show.
And I am Fluffy Souffle. I use they, them, because I'm a non-binary performer.
I think their pronoun is Legion, for there are many.
Wake up, bear, mumbled mole. Spring.
Alright. Okay. Okay, I'm used to banning attention whores from chat. Alright. Whew, David767, thank you for the $1. I appreciate it. Alright. Today, we turn Cringe Panda into Comrade Panda. That is what we're doing today. Alright. Everything that I'm about to say is backed up by a plurality of data and evidence and consensus among the scientific community. Here we go. So, the term transgender originates, or I should say trans, originates from Latin, and probably more colloquially, that's a hard word to pronounce, colloquially, from organic chemistry, referring to isomeric bonds, I believe they're called. You have trans and cis isomeric bonds. To be cis is to be the same, to be together, while to be trans is to be different or to be the other, to be opposite. Or isomerism, sorry. This is where the terms cis and trans come from. So when we bring this to gender identity, we have to be transgender, to be trans, is to identify as a gender different from the one you were assigned at birth. And to be assigned at birth is basically, when you're born, your doctor will usually look at your birth sex, which is the biological part of your body, you know what I'm talking about. I don't need to go into detail on that, right? And they usually assign your gender, more or less, right? Like, the doctor takes you out of your mom and says, it's a girl, or it's a boy, and then, you didn't really have any say in it. You're raised as a girl. If the doctor says you're a girl, you usually end up wearing pink, playing with girls' toys, wearing girls' clothes, and that's how you're raised, right? And if the doctor says it's a boy, you're usually going to be raised as a boy, you wear boys' clothes, and you probably are associated more with blue. Ironically enough, to go into how this is socially constructed, way back in the 30s, I believe, blue, like the light baby blue that's usually associated with like being a boy, like you've seen gender reveal parties, right, where like they'll like pull a string and a big hatch door opens up and a bunch of balloons come out depending on the color. Like that's how they do gender reveal parties, right? And white thing to do, but still, that color of baby blue, usually associated with like boys, was marketed heavily towards girls and was associated way more with girls, while the light pink was associated way more with boys because it was seen as like strong and energetic, and those were features usually associated with guys. And on the other hand, and obviously on the opposite side, you had the baby blue, which was associated more with women because it's soft and it's quiet, and that's usually what's associated with girls, right? So that's basically where the idea of gender assigned at birth comes from. Now, there's a distinction to make between gender and sex. I'm not pulling this out of my ass here, I promise you. I put the, I'll go ahead and drop a link to the research document in chat once again, so you can look at the data that I'm referencing here yourself. I encourage you to do independent research on this. Don't just take my word for it. Listen to what I'm saying and go out of your way to find data to back it up and or debunk it. I encourage you to. And there's even a document if you want to see it. So, sex and gender, or biological sex and gender, aren't the same thing. Biological sex refers to your physicality, right? Secondary sexual characteristics, which we don't need to get into, your chromosomes, your bone density, all those memes, right? By the way, I want to let you know I have 15 more time, so I have to get off from. All good, Cringe Panda. This should probably go up as a video, so you'll be able to watch it in a bit more of a bite-sized piece as well. But I'll make it quick. This should be I should be done pretty quickly. So these are like for the most part, you're born with it aspects of your body. Now there are people who are intersex. They are born with extra chromosomes or extra chromosome combinations, right? So generally you have XX for women and XY, or females, I should say. XX for females, XY for males. However, if you differentiate from that, you are intersex. You may have XXY, YYX, I think is one. There's like a shit ton of combinations. There's a ton. Hey chat, how many are there? I think there's like 30 different combinations of chromosomes that you can get if you're intersex. It's like a shit ton. There's undiscovered ones too. 27? I think it's 27. Like, this isn't like a woke SJW thing either. This is just a scientifically recognized thing. Like, you can have this type of intersex, and this is sort of a departure from male or female. And so sex itself isn't really viewed in the medical community as a binary as much as it is viewed as a bimodal distribution. Now, oh fuck, people are gonna accuse me of being Vosh here, but we gotta do a paint stream. I feel like visualizing this would probably make it a bit more of make a bit more sense. So, a bimodal distribution. So let's clarify what a binary and a bimodal distribution is really quickly, okay? So, let's see what a binary is. So, alright. So, a binary is when you have one thing or the other. There is no other options. That is what binary is. This derives from binary code, which is ones and zeros. There is literally no departure from this or that. It is one or the other. There are no outliers whatsoever. That is how a binary works. So in a, oh crap, you use Windows? Hell yeah, I use Windows 10. Although I may not have acquired it in the most legal manner. Alright. So in a binary, you got one or the other. There are no other options. No outliers can exist. However, that is not how the medical community views biological sex. They view it as more of a bimodal distribution, or a spectrum. So, what this means is, the majority of people fall on either end, with the minority of them being outliers somewhere in the middle or on the extremely far ends of it, right? This is how a bimodal distribution works. This is backed up by, I mean, if we want to bring up the data, actually, because this is sort of a radical idea for a lot of people who've never heard of this before. I feel like you should bring up the idea of it. Where is it? Here it is. So here's a better graphic than I can. This is from the Scientific American. This is a graph published by the Scientific American that sort of details the spectrum of sex. It's a pretty complicated thing, but I'm doing my best to sort of make it a bit simpler, because it's like ridiculously complicated. Science, biology is generally pretty complicated. But in my more simplistic one, this is mostly how it looks. Most people fall onto one of these sides. I do. I fall on this end. You probably fall on this end. That's just how it works. But the existence of the outliers negates the existence of a binary. It's how binaries work. There can't be outliers for it to be a binary. And that is biological sex. Now, gender, on the other hand, is a completely different beast, alright? Gender is socially constructed. Now, I should clarify, a lot of people think that socially constructed means not real. Socially constructed just means that it's created and its existence is perpetuated by the people who practice and or believe it. So, for example, language is socially constructed. Doesn't mean language isn't real, it just means that as long as people speak a language, it exists. Pig Latin, for example, dead fucking language. No one really uses it outside of very certain circumstances anymore. And so, but it still exists, right? So that's how language works. Money, for example, is also socially constructed. The dollar bill. Do I have any cash laying around? Oh, I'm about to flex on my stream. Oh, my wallet's stuck. Shit. Fuck. There we go. Alright. Look, chat, I'm so loaded. Here, I got a 20. It's very crinkled up because I have a shitty wallet. Alright? See this? This $20 bill right here? With all those porkies in chat. This doesn't mean anything. This dollar bill has absolutely no intrinsic value in itself. Literally none. Like, this just isn't worth anything. Maybe the material it's made out of is worth something, whatever you could do with it. But if the world ended tomorrow and, you know, let's say fucking Kim Jong-un is dead and his sister takes power and decides to nuke America, and then we nuke them back, and it's just a big fucking explosion of death and the world ends, right? Mad Max Wasteland style. There is nothing to say that dollar bills would cease to have any value, and we wouldn't start using bottle caps instead. In fact, that's the entire concept of Fallout. So yeah, that's what I mean when I say something is socially constructed. It was made by people, not by nature. Oh, Big Dick Wilson, thanks for the $5. I appreciate it, buddy. When we get a Xander Hall OnlyFans? When I get to 50,000 subs, you fucking degenerates. Alright, thank you for the $5. So when we talk about gender, we're talking about things that are not biological, right? So, guys' clothes. Guys usually wear suits, for example. I can't draw, so... Yeah, that's a suit right there. Hell yeah. Yeah, that's a suit right there. Look, we even got a little tie. I'll draw a little tie. Yeah, that's a tie right there. And give him a little face. Yay. Honestly, can I get some claps in chat? That's some good art right there. That's some good-ass art, am I right? Hey. Alright. That is a suit. Why are men expected to wear suits at like, funerals and weddings? Really, though. Why? Why is it socially expected for men to wear suits? Obviously, women can wear suits. They're usually, I think they're called, like, pantsuits? Women in suits. That has nothing to do with biology. It's not like men fit suits better. I mean, women can wear suits as well. There's nothing really biological about it. Usually suits can be made bespoke, which means they're custom fitted to your body type. Some really big dudes will have bespoke suits. It's what we call a gender role. Pantsuits, yeah. You know, it's bespoke. But generally women don't wear pantsuits. It's not really expected. Usually women are expected to wear skirts and dresses in these types of environments, right? It's unusual at the very least. It's not normal. Those are gender roles / expectations there, since women... yeah, I know, Vermin. I'm talking about. But generally it's men that are expected to wear suits. And there's nothing biological about that, right? On the other hand, women... Well, let's see if I can actually draw, like, a good outline of a dress. I think that's pretty good. It will give a little pattern there. Look, it's a dress. And she's T-posing, I guess. Look at that. Has, like, a really fucking flat head, and that's her eyes. She may also have fetal alcohol syndrome, but we aren't going to talk about that. So there is nothing... The fuck am I looking at right now? Alright, I'm sorry. But there's nothing biological about either of these things, right? The expectation for men to wear suits in social settings, and women to wear dresses and skirts, right? This is a socially constructed idea, and that's what we're talking about when we talk about gender. And gender also refers to your identity, right? So, female and male are sex. That is your biological sex. So, your gender is how you identify. Imagine someone coming in the stream like now and seeing that without context. Yeah, they'd probably leave and leave a dislike. Probably. But hopefully you're following along. We got the context. So, there is a distinction to make here between sex and gender. Your gender is socially constructed, while your sex is biological. Now, trans people simply identify as a gender different from the one they were assigned at birth. So for example, let's say you were born, the doctor took you out of your mom and were like, you're a girl, or it's a girl, and then you were raised as a girl, you wore girls' clothes, it was kind of decided for you, like, I mean, you don't really have a say in it, when you're born, you can't really say, actually, I don't like the pink, I don't like pink, I don't like Barbie dolls, I don't like dresses, I'd rather not. You're kind of, generally, depending on the parents, overwhelmingly going to be wearing dresses and having a pink toys and Barbie dolls and girl stuff, right? You don't really get a say in it. However, let's say later on in life, as you get older, you don't really feel as comfortable with that anymore. And you decide, actually, I feel like I'm a guy. I feel like I identify more with being a man. And so, you would most likely, if you have supportive parents, go to your parents. Though overwhelmingly trans people do not have supportive parents in this country. There's a massive epidemic of trans people, especially trans youth, being ostracized by their parents, kicked out of their homes, being homeless, and or being like ruthlessly physically and mentally abused by their parents because they don't accept their gender identity and just want their kids to be normal. This is like an overwhelming epidemic that is a huge issue in America. Regardless, big issue, but if you have supportive parents, you would probably go to your parents, be like, hey, I don't feel comfortable as a girl. I feel like I might be a boy. I feel like I want to be a boy. And if they're good parents, they would take you to a medical professional, usually a psychologist or a psychiatrist. Distinction there is lost on me, I promise. Or isn't lost on me. And a medical professional would more or less talk to you and observe you and would likely be able to find out whether or not you have gender dysphoria. Now, it's not necessarily needed to be trans, I promise you. It's a whole complicated discussion, but usually most trans people have a diagnosable condition called gender dysphoria. This is basically where they feel, and even like biologically, they've done tests pretty recently where they've done brain scans of trans women, trans men, cis women, which just means not trans basically, and cis men, and found that trans women have more similar brainwave patterns and brain and constructions in their brain to cis women than they do with cis men. They're more like cis women than they are like cis men. Trans women are, which is pretty interesting. Like their actual brain, the actual brain chemistry in their head is different and more like that of a cis woman. So acknowledging this, we have a diagnosable mental condition, which I should clarify is not a mental illness. The medical community does not classify this as a mental illness. Being trans isn't a mental illness, and having gender dysphoria isn't a mental illness. Regardless, usually you would proceed with transitioning with the, if it depends on hormone levels during pregnancy, that's definitely part of it. Temperature is also part of it. Like, there's a bunch of different aspects, but yeah. And then generally you would go forward with the advisement, or the advice, I guess, of a medical professional how to transition. If you're a kid, it's not like you're going to be taking hormones and getting your dick chopped off and turned into a vagina. I know that's like a stereotype, but it's just not what happens. When we talk about children transitioning, generally nothing physical is happening with the kid. It's just a matter of like, kid thinks that they're a different gender, let the kid dress differently, let the kid change their name, let the kid go by different pronouns. We'll see what happens when they get older. And sure enough, we see what happens when they get older. Now, many doctors may, as the kid gets older and closer to puberty, decide to put the kid on puberty blockers. Now, the way puberty blockers work is they basically just sort of stop your body from producing the hormones and the changes that happen when you go through puberty based on your birth sex, right? It stalls it. It can't stop it forever, but it does stall it. And I should clarify, just in case you're worried about any dangers erupting from this, if it ends up turning out the kid isn't trans, they're like, yeah, I'm like 16 now, I'm pretty sure it was just a phase, I'm not really trans. Once they're taken off of hormone blockers, overwhelmingly in tests, it is just shown that they pop right back where they would have been if they hadn't been on hormone blockers in the first place. Doesn't really affect them negatively in any way, it just sort of keeps them looking a little androgynous for a bit longer. I know what blockers are, I actually researched this a lot on Reddit. Reddit's probably not the best place to do research though, Cringe Panda. Because Reddit has... There's a lot of people on Reddit that have certain agendas they're pushing when they give research on this, but I promise you that the sources that I'm citing here are, for the most part, unbiased and partisan. Or non-partisan? What am I... Partisan means unbiased, right? Am I wrong here, chat? Partisan means non-biased. Hit me up, chat. Am I wrong? Bipartisan. Non-partisan. Yeah, non-partisan. I apologize. Yeah, the sources that I'm citing here are just non-partisan. These are just studies and meta-analyses of data that have no political agenda or leaning behind them. Generally, what will happen is children may be put on hormone blockers, and as they get older, they may at some point instead be put on hormones. Once they're at a certain age. Usually it's around 18. They may, if they're lucky, they'll go off of hormone blockers and go on actual hormones. This could be estrogen. This could be testosterone. There's a big list of it. Way too long for me to list off the top of my head. I'm no scientist. I'm just telling you what I've researched and what I know, which I admit is probably way more than the average person does know, but regardless, you should do your own independent research as well. And then usually from there, they'll transition to generally try to change their physicality along with their gender identity. That's generally what they do. And it's a bit more complicated than that. It goes further. That's not 100% of people who are trans, but that's usually the meme. Can you give me a minute? I need to ask for more. No problem, Cringe Panda. I feel like we've basically gone through everything that's like important with this, though, right? Hey, chat, is there anything I've forgotten? Listen, I know there's a JQer in chat that wants to debate me. I don't feel like debating any Nazis tonight, alright? Just ban them or something, send them to Spurgatory, okay? We'll get to them later. There's plenty of Nazis in the sea for me to debate. I'm busy right now, okay? I love you, chat. Pop my back. Alright.